Hey all, today going to talk about the kettlebell deadlift, one of the best ways to both teach just a good solid hip hinge pattern and a lot of ways that we can change the variation depending on how and where our client is coming to this exercise as far as their physical capacity. So again, starting with the kettlebell, I also have a really stiff kind of dense yoga block here, and reason I have that is that can be interchangeable for like a step setup, a couple of plates underneath the weight, but anything to elevate the weight off the floor so that we can start in the best starting position from a technique standpoint to learn a good pattern, a good skill pattern for this exercise. So I'm going to start with the kettlebell right between my feet, and I'm going to place it on my yoga block, and I'm going to have my heels going right through the handle of the kettlebell. So the kettlebell is actually a little bit behind me to start, and that's totally fine. That just means that I'm actually going to have to keep my arms tucked in tight to my body, and I'm going to have to push my hips back, which is going to help me perform that hip hinge movement, maintaining good stable core. And so to create that from a start position, I'm going to pull my belly button in as I take a big breath, squeeze that air down, and then I'm just going to reach my hands straight back. I'm going to let my knees bend slightly until I find that kettlebell. From here, I've got hands on, and I'm just going to drive through the floor, squeeze my hips towards the kettlebell, stand up tall. To return the weight to the ground, I'm going to pull my arms into me, trying to keep my elbows tight to my sides, and then I'm going to reach that kettlebell back right between my heels. That's my touch point, and then I can either stand up for another rep, or as I do the same thing again, keeping the weight balanced through the foot, my toes aren't coming off the ground, I can leave it there and finish my set. From the side, this is going to look exactly the same, but from a profile perspective, we want the hips to be hinging first, keeping a good upright posture with that tight, stable core. So again, squeeze the hands in, reach back, find that kettlebell handle, drive through the floor to stand up. From the ground, going to look exactly the same, just with a deeper range of motion through this hip flexion. So I start with my heels right through the kettlebell handle, arms reaching straight down, breath in, squeeze that air tight, hips back, lean down, find that kettlebell, squeeze the hips through, push that kettlebell back, touch, and stand up from the side. Hips back, reach that kettlebell down, find it right between the feet, squeeze up, weight stays balanced so that I can drive through the floor. That's going to be a great start for working on your hip hinge movements with the kettlebell deadlift.